Thank you guys for showing up. I was very excited to hang out with everybody and talk. Wanted to do kind of a community TFD Q&A session where it's not just me uploading a video and getting absolutely destroyed because of hot takes. So I need some backup. I baited these guys.
Takes. I
I
got tons of them.
I baited these guys. Now we're going in together. So yeah, I'm gonna let these guys go around the room, kind of introduce themselves. I'll go last. But if some of you guys don't know these guys, definitely well known in the community. Some of the hardest workers I've seen put in the work. There's a guy here that hasn't slept for like 60 days, But yeah, I'll let these guys go around the room and introduce. So go for it.
All right, I'll go first. I am Sen Evades. I started doing YouTube back in August, and I started doing Twitch a couple months ago full time after I quit my job, and I told my boss to go fuck himself. So yeah, here I am. This is my main game, and this is what I'm doing now.
It's a W answer.
Thank you.
Denny?
Yeah, hey, what's up? My name is Austin, but I go by Denny's. Started making videos back when it first came out, and yeah, I just kind of stuck to it, and yeah, I ended up kind of stopping what I was doing as far as work and pursuing this full time, and it's been the most fun I've had probably my whole life. So yeah, really honored to be here too. I've watched Clyde for a long time, and yeah, just really cool. Really happy to be here.
Lamb.
I have showered. Okay, so chill.
That's good.
Yeah, my name's Lamb, Lambo. I kind of just started playing this game after I lost my job and, well, like right before this game came out. And it started on the TFD Discord server, and then I got bullied into streaming. So they were just like, you need to just stream. So here we are, and here I am going to be. And I love this game. I honestly, genuinely do.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of cool though to like hear that, you guys just went full send. Like all three of these guys went full send. It's like said fuck work and just went for it. I'm over here busted my ass, worked my fucking own company for 3 years straight and streamed. Slept 3 hours a night. I fucked up. I went the wrong route.
Yep, I literally looked my boss in the face and told him to go fuck himself, and I quit.
I respect it. I mean, I do, but it's scary. I mean, I feel like you need to really have that mindset to just to want to jump on that and do it. But I mean, I truly believe in you regret the you regret the things that you didn't take chances in life. Like that's the only stuff that I really think about. But with full-time content creation, it's rough, but you guys been doing it. But we need more content, right? So that's kind of where I'm going to start is as the game, you can't talk about anything that's coming. Being this far into the latest update, where's your guys' head at?
Again, shall we go Sen, then I, then Lamb in that order?
It don't matter. We don't need order.
Yeah, let's yeah, that works.
This far into the update, it's usually pretty bad, as it always is. They've done a better job this season of kind of spreading it. Like slow drip, which is sometimes bad. I know that's been a bad thing on Destiny before, the slow drip, but here it's kind of helpful because there's so many new players constantly. Like what drives this game is new players, so the slow drip is kind of helpful because you bring in a lot of new players for the season, but content overall, just not enough of it. It's that simple.
I agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably agree with that. For me, it's like it's a very grindy game. Like when you look at it just from the get-go. Like obviously you finish the story on normal, and it's kind of like anybody can do that. But then when you get into hard, it's just a really, really repetitive, really grindy game. So naturally, people are going to want more content quicker with these types of games. I think if we give it time, it's going to be amazing. I think a lot of people might share that sentiment as well. But for me, I'm a really big fan of like skill trees and just having a bunch of different skill trees and a bunch of different like I guess like evergreen systems like that. I come from like World of Warcraft, right? So I've been playing that since I was like 7 years old, and it's kept me addicted ever since. And I think it does a lot of things right. Obviously, it does a lot of things wrong. And the company Nexon is like bar none as far as listening. It's kind of absurd. But yeah, I obviously agree with the sentiment of Sen for sure. But excited for the future.
Not to interrupt, but sometimes they listen too well to things they shouldn't.
I cranked Denny up. If he's still low, can you like yap a little more so I can see if I need to turn up
Yeah,
this?
it was my mic might have been too far as well. Let me know, chat.
Is it better now? I turned him up to 200%, but I can crank it. Better? All right, we'll leave him at 200 again. Let us know. But no, I agree with that. Yeah. All right, Lambo, where you at?
I think my perspective of the game is probably not realistic compared to the average player because I know that the game is lacking with a lot of like retention content and things that are, going to keep the players coming back and playing every day. But personally for myself, I genuinely just like I could do nothing in the game all day and have fun, but that's just because of the unique like position that I'm in, and
Because you
it's
stream
kind of
it.
like unfair. I have perma chat side quests all day. I have a quest log that'll never end, and I just feel like lucky that that's my experience in the game. But I know that that's not the reality of the game.
I was gonna
I
say
mean,
you're playing with fire right there, brother.
I mean, it's hard for me to give my like true opinion of the player's perspective that comes to the game and tries to like consume what is added in a like a there isn't enough stuff for you to stay playing after week 1 or 2 of an update. There isn't, and that's the reality of it. Like unless you genuinely like only want to play the game to play the game like I do, then there isn't enough at once. And I mean they're building towards that, but like we're all goldfish. We don't have the attention span to wait it out or stick around. So
And that's
it is concerning.
that's the biggest problem I see right now. I was getting spammed with questions earlier before I joined you guys, but the biggest thing I see is because I'm like juggling it. I'm trying to juggle this with D2, and then I got some other games coming out soon that I'm gonna start jumping to, and like I feel like if you're just grinding this every day, like a DGen, of course you're gonna run out of stuff to do. But with Denny coming from World of Warcraft, me just being used to streaming Destiny nonstop, like always having stuff to do. And then, Sen and Lambo, you guys played grindy games in the past. It's just for live service grindy games, that meta's gone. Every single game now that's a live service, seasonal content kind of styled game, it's play for 2 weeks and put it down. I think that's a throw. Like, honestly, I don't like that system. I had someone come into chat earlier and they were like, hey, I haven't played since Ultimate Freyna was announced. I've been playing 4 to 5 hours the last 3 days and I unlocked 6 characters, the dog. Why is the game so easy? When someone says that, I'm like, ooh, like, I can't like comment on that stuff because people throw the streamer card at us. They say, well, sorry, we don't have all day to stream and play video games like you guys. Someone said it in chat earlier, said best, we manage our time when we play, so we know exactly what to go for. They don't. And I feel like that's fair. Like, if you guys want to go unlock a gun right now, you exactly know how to go get it. You're going to go get it the fastest possible way, right? Not everybody knows that. Same thing with mats, materials, gold, So which leads me into my next spiel, is them doing all these sign-in bonuses and all this stuff for the new players because that's what they're trying to acquire. Is it good for the game? The easiness, the super casual, is it good for the game?
I think so. But there has to come a point when to me, it's kind of like when it comes time for jiggle physics, as stupid as jiggle physics is, and I think it's a waste of resources.
Me too.
That shit is going to bring a lot of people to the game for that
The Goon
that
Squad.
time period right there. And I think that when that time hits, it's going to be make or break for this game, where they're going to have to show all of those people that are going to hop on the game what the game is about, and that, hey, this isn't the same game that came out last year. You know, this is the time. But they're working towards that. It's just, it's going to take time. And a lot of times they're so so quick to appease just the most random shit, especially when they do a Q&A. The first 3 questions they answer is about fucking paint, skins, and geophysics.
Jiggle physics, yeah.
Every time. It's the same shit every time. Paint, skins, geophysics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like it goes hand in hand, right? Because like you're talking about, seasonal games and live service free to play games, they make a ton of money. A lot of people play the game, not like you said, not like us. We have like a special privilege, I guess you would say, to where we can play it a lot more than most. That's the biggest thing. But
yeah,
like these games make a lot of money. It may seem like when they're in their drought period, 9,000 average users on Steam, more like whatever 30K with console, or whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Like they're still making a lot of money, and these games make a lot of money. And Fortnite, I think, is what kind of proved that and started that whole like seasonal like come in, play, earn, and then stop. And then obviously Diablo had it for a long time, but it's just like a very it's a lot. It makes a lot of money, and then they also have like a good game on their hands, so they have to balance. It's like a balance, a fine balance, I think.
Lamb.
I mean, the start of the like generosity, or so it seems like, from Nexon to just give so much to the players to kind of like incentivize them to come into the game. It kind of gives them a false sense of like acquisition for everything, and so like they get a ton of catalysts, activators, free characters, whatever, like thrown at them at once, and then it's like the feeling of grinding for something and earning something is like lost. And it's especially lost in a new player, because a new player, like, I'm not gonna get War Veteran here and be like, wait, back in my day with the 5-minute outposts, like, it's true though. Like the grind was there, and like we hated it, but we loved it. And now it's like there's no grind for a new player because they can walk in and just have it handed to them. And so it's like it just diminishes that, like, the reward. It makes it kind of like lesser than, and it's kind of a bummer, because you'd think it would kind of pull players in, because it's like, oh yeah, you got all this stuff, and like now you can do other things. But it's like, what, you got all the stuff that you were supposed to like grind for, and now you just have it, so you're gonna go play a different game. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
On one part, it's almost going to be necessary, because the way that they're, especially with Descendants, adding 3 Descendants a season, if you add up the math of that through a whole year, like there's going to come a point in this game where there's 30 Descendants. So a new player is going to load into the game, and they're going to have 30 fucking Descendants to look at.
Yep. Look at Warframe. You know what I mean?
So they almost have to do it to a point, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they have to do that. I mean, genuinely, it's like their perspective is it's a collection game, right? So like you're supposed to put the time in and collect it all. But like, just because you don't get all the stuff right away when you see all the things that there are in the game, like, you just pick one thing and work towards it. And I mean, honestly, yeah, it might seem like too much, or it might seem like for a new player to walk in and they feel like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get all this stuff. That's not possible.
There's a lot of people who will just uninstall when, like, if they see that much to start off with.
Yes, they will.
I mean, that the irony of that is like so deep, considering players are crying and saying there isn't anything to do. It's like,
well,
there's a lot. It goes different ways.
But is it Descendant content though? To me, it's, in my opinion, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, I agree. You're right. It isn't.
Because
I mean,
you're not going to do something fun to level it up. You're just going to the dog shit 8-minute run in Echo Swamp right now and go 1 to 40. It sucks. But again,
Yeah.
I agree with everything. Like you guys are on the point there. Like I it literally just said everything that I was getting ready to say. It was, that Secret Garden nanotube. Y'all know that one, and me going after Enduring Legacy and stuff like that, and just chat yelling at me like, Clyde, you swiped your ultimate character. I'm like, yeah, I did it for a video. They're like, grind one. I'm like, all right, screw it. I went and did Ultimate Lepic in 9.5 hours straight. Went for it and I got it, But
I mean, and like the advanced stabilizers,
I'm
I
getting
found
there.
it funny. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm getting there. So it's like I tell people all the time, every time you get a new free gift from Nexon, you're just taking hours and hours off your total playtime. You might as well just get ready to just put it down, because all those weapons that we grinded out and the pieces we got, and even dude, I remember I used to set timers on my phone of when I can cook a new energy activator and a new catalyst, because I was like, dude, I need these to make content. People are going to ask me what to put on their weapons. Unfortunately, I had to pull out the wallet. I'm like, man, I got to swipe Caliber. I'm broke on Catalyst. If I don't do Catalyst tomorrow, Moxie's going to upload it and beat me. No, for real, it was like that. But
this happened last night. Out of 40 patterns that I opened, because of the silly funny that normal patterns are, I got 23 energy activators with advanced stabilizers.
What?
So I got over almost a 52% activator drop rate. And that clip I just put in the group chat is 7 out of 8 patterns opened that were activators.
That's insane.
So they might be like, they're being a little too generous with the drop rates and how, something seems accessible.
I was just trying to get a 38% Smithereens piece because I'm building another one, and I got a 3% from a normal boss kill, a 3% energy activator. I'm like, what are we doing here? But yeah, with the activators, like the advanced those shape stabilizers, like I remember just busting my head against the wall, grinding for the same piece over and over. And my last Enduring Legacy to get 5 out of 5, it took me 56 kills on Executioner to get the last one. And again, that's part of your playtime. That's part of your experience. Today, I just got the gold HP, the gold MP out of combat Slayer component. Like, I finally got it. It was low gold, but it was both gold. But I'm like, holy shit, I actually got it, and I was so pumped, and that excitement was there. But I feel like new players don't get that. They're not seeing the excitement of the grind, because they're just like, all right, well, I'm gonna go unlock this, and it's an easy unlock, and if not, I'll just wait for ETA and get more advanced stabilizers, or I'll just craft more. And it's just, there's always a workaround. Does that make sense? Like, it's just an easy way to get something. And like one of you said, if they don't get what they want, they'll just cry about it because they're used to being spoiled. Well, I don't have time to invest that. And I'm going to be really harsh here because that's the person I am. If people complain that they don't have time to play it, then don't play a grindy game. Go play something else. It's not for you.
Straight up.
I work 10 hours a day, and I used to
tell people.
I worked 10 hours a day. I ran a business, and I streamed 8 to 10 hours a day. Was that smart for me? No, I slept 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours a night, but I did it just because it was a goal I wanted to achieve. But even when I wasn't doing the streaming thing and I was just playing COD and Madden and 2K, I'd probably only play video games 8 hours a week. 2 hours a night for 4 days, sometimes maybe 2 hours a night for 2 days a week. Because I didn't really have time for video games. But if you really want to invest into your hobby, you can't just be like, well, I got 2 wives, 6 cats, 2 frogs, and a dog named Jeff, or a fish. Sorry, it wasn't supposed to be a dog. It was supposed to be a fish, but we love Jeff, by the way. But people, they always just throw that at people saying, well, you got more time to play than me, so fuck you. I don't like that comment. I hate it. I see it in comments, videos, all the time. It's like, dude, I've been doing this shit for 9 years. These guys are starting out doing it. Every day that you put a grind into something, you earn those stripes, like, and that's what it is. And the whole point is to make the game easier for others. If you're uploading content like most of us do. We're uploading stuff to make the game easier for you. We're giving you the tools. How many people in chat right now, it took you 40 hours to realize what access info was? Probably took me around 30 to like study the whole thing because I was more worried about doing the campaign. I didn't pay attention to access info. They didn't know. Like I literally have to teach people how to look up stuff and be like, this is how you go find your blueprint. It's a great tool.
I mean, I will say too, the access info has gotten better as well. Like
It has.
they've changed it, and the quality of life changes don't reflect as content in the game, and it's kind of a bummer that all the little ease of access and quality things that get changed and added like periodically don't really reflect to a player that is either returning or like first going into the game as like they don't realize how unapproachable it did feel from the beginning, and now it's like so many things are just really, really smooth and easy to find, but they're not done, they're not there yet. Like even like the pity system or the target reward system, there are too many players that have no clue how that works and what it applies to, and that's nobody's fault but Nexon's. Like they need to.
I don't even know how it works. Chat usually has to tell me.
and how ridiculous is that? Because it's such an insanely OP tool that like just it guarantees that your luck is never going to be the worst luck possible.
Yeah,
like,
they don't even know about the pity system. They don't even know about it.
It's sad because the tools are there, but they're not easy to find, and it shouldn't be like that for a new player, especially like returning ones. They get like turned off by the idea that like, okay, yeah, I don't remember anything. It doesn't even look like the same game anymore. It's too much.
Yeah. Well, with discussing all that, it was Void just said it. Why do you feel that this seasonal content with Void Erosion Purge and the new boss, why is it penalizing players for playing with groups? Because you guys know it's harder with groups, way harder. You could solo 1 to 20 and solo the new boss, no problem. When you play with others, shit goes down.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been like that since the start, right?
Yeah, just like, bad scaling, overpowered builds.
You think it's just bad scaling?
Yeah, bad scaling. I mean, you've got builds that are insane and then builds that basically comparatively do nothing, right? So like it's a combo of the two, and then you have to get. I feel like that you have to give time, that kind of thing. You would hope they would fix that a little bit sooner, especially since a lot of people like to. There's not just pure solo players in games like this. I will say it's mostly probably solo players. I mean, off the top of my head, just how grindy this game is, it's really hard to keep a group of friends in a game like this.
That's another one.
Yeah, it's something that I think they should absolutely focus on is group play. Like I'm probably gonna mention Warframe a ton. I never played Warframe, but in my chat and on my comments all the time, I always get like, oh, Warframe was dog when it first started out. Oh, Warframe, the group play system's like this and this. It's way better. You get this. Like this game is still so new. It's still less than a year. You know what I mean? So like, there's so much they can do. It's just that there's also like a pretty like passionate, I guess you would say, like community also. And so like with a passionate community and then a game developer like Nexon right now that's like making these changes so quick and they're just listening, it's like, okay, who's the loudest? What changes are they going to make? We need to like start making, like, I don't know if you guys have ever played OSRS, but there's like literally in-game like poll boards where you can vote, hey, what do you want the newest content to be? Right? Like that is actually a really good idea in my opinion. I don't know why no other game does that. That's like beautiful. But yeah.
Well, they bend to the Reddit mob very fast over a lot of things.
Yes.
I have noticed that. Yes.
Yep.
Almost like they're literally scared.
They are.
Funny, I think the YouTube and Twitch, I know a lot of people use Reddit. I mean, I use Reddit, but I feel like YouTube and Twitch, the amount of, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe there's more on Reddit, but I don't know.
But again, like with the solo versus team stuff.
Well, they've kind of done it to themselves with the Void Abyss Colossus, right? They had something like Gluttony and Deathstalker, so good, and I'm anti Void Abyss Colossus. I think it's absolutely horrible. This one's a little better, but Inferno Walker was absolute dog meat in so many ways. But I know what they're doing because they're trying to balance the game of content, right? So their idea here is they're going to rotate these and they're going to give each element type descendant their chance to shine.
Yep.
So it was Haley and Viessa. Now you have Electric. Then you'll have Toxic, which is good, but it's, I don't know. I don't like it.
I've seen that pattern too.
And everybody likes something different. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, there's many ways they could go. Everybody likes something different, and everybody's gonna have an opinion about it too. Us being in the position we're in, we're gonna see those opinions a lot more than everybody else. So, yeah.
Yeah. Lamb?
I think it's really frustrating that the game is basically, it shows you from the start that it's about like being able to, you know, run, like when you're just running through normal story, you get into missions and there's other players in there, like as you're playing through the game, like as you're going through the map, and then you finish getting through the map and then you end up at this point where you're like, okay, now I'm completely by myself and I do everything by myself and nobody around me is at a point where I'm at, and even if they are, like we're not doing anything together, and you're just like, the game is basically telling you you're on your own. Like, go out of your way to find people to play with or just keep playing on your own. And it's really unfortunate because the game could be way more enjoyable with a sort of like, you know, system that kind of forced players to play together. Every part of it is like anti-team.
Yeah.
You know, like only complaints about
some incentive to group up too would be nice. You don't get anything better for being in a group, and that's
exactly
that's a simple fix too.
Yeah,
bonus gold, bonus like
Bonus.
rewards, like whatever it could be, something simple like bonus XP for being in a party, whatever it is. It's so easy to like push the players together and incentivize like playing as a team, and the game is doing the opposite of that. And it's like I hear just the complaints about like you can't do pubs, you can't run things like solo, you can't run things like the other players don't understand whatever it is, like, and it just, even if they're right or they're wrong, it already makes them, they're just turned off to playing with like pubs. They just want to do solo stuff. They just want to be solo because it's easier and it's, you know, the accountability is just on them, and that's kind of not how the game should be. Like I feel like it's infinitely more fun when you're playing with friends, like, or just like in a group setting. Like so many creative things can be like found, and
the biggest
I
thing,
don't know, it's a bummer.
The biggest thing is, again, I'm seeing this in a lot of games, and this does happen a lot. Social anxiety. Every game deals with it. You know, people come in and they go, "Clyde, you're still playing Destiny. How's the new content?" I don't play no more because my friends don't. Same thing with TFD. Same people say the same things. Hey, Clyde, my crew don't play no more, so I don't play the game no more. Like, bro, they're not your friends. Like, remember, I want everybody to know, just because you know someone over a video game doesn't mean they're your IRL friend. Trust me, they'll stab you in the back the second they get a chance. Unless you've met them, if you met them IRL, it's a different story. But I mean, I've had founders badge mods turn their backs. Like, dude, it's crazy. You know, people tell you that, but it's like, it's okay to meet different people. You know, I mean, I just did that social experiment last week. Went in World Chat and asked someone to play. It was great.
That was good.
You know, it was cool. But the thing is yes, the big group play thing was the level ones, I think. The under-leveled people that were going into boss queues looking for a carry. You guys know how that was. You go into Gluttony and you get a level 1. You're like, what are you doing in here? Like, get out of here.
How did you find the door to get in here, buddy?
Yeah, like that. There should have been a requirement. But again, like, I just felt like when the Void Erosion Purge came out, we did a full group 1 to 20 because I wanted to be like, hey chat, this is what it looks like scaled. Like, we were kind of just running it over. Every like level, you know, every 5 rounds you get the poison guys, like the same level as 20. it seemed like every time we got that map, we're like, all right,
Right.
this is like the check. It hurts, you know. But other than that, you know, you just steamroll everything. And then the same thing with the filer. I'm like, all right, this thing's crazy, but I'm gonna send on this. Like, these bosses are dog shit. Like, they're just, it's not cool, you know. Like, when I loaded into Gluttony day one, I'm like, damn, this is a fight. Cool ass
Oh my
mechanics.
God.
This guy's checking you. Day one Defiler, I wanted to end stream. Or day one Deathstalker, I wanted to end stream. As
I
soon as I
did.
beat him, I'm like, dude, this is the most stupidest boss ever. Like, shield.
Yeah.
Like, I just sat there with an Enzo and unloaded
Yep.
2,000 bullets on this guy. But it's like, it's cool because
Sad.
they tried something different. So I told
Yeah,
everyone,
but
I'm like,
Deathstalker is a fight. You know
it's a
what I mean?
fight. Yeah,
There's, like,
exactly. It's a fight. But
it's a fight. When I'm doing Defiler, I don't feel like I'm in a fight. I feel
No.
like I'm in a circus.
yeah,
like,
you're just, oh,
Right.
that's,
Unless you're one phasing them solo or in a group, unless you're getting, you're somebody that's gonna get grapples and all that.
Yeah,
It's
man.
literally like he enrages and welcome to circus mode. Good luck dodging, because if you get hit, you're dead.
it's a great group battle. That's why I tell people, I'm like, go for the chest on Deathstalker, get that grapple. As soon as he stuns, shove your smithereens up his ass, and then, you know, like, optimize, or, you know, have your go in there and go the end all be all Luna, you know, with skill builds. But like, again, people don't have that. They don't have their groups, you know, like, they just don't.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
group-
even with like Deathstalker at first, you guys remember like bringing in like Lunas and
Yeah.
Lepics. Like it's just like it like actually it was fun. It was probably like my favorite boss. You just go in and you can actually like group up and have some fun.
And you
And-
can play a lot of different descendants as
Yeah,
well.
and it's not just like one
Exactly.
meta, right? Yeah.
But again, people don't push that. Like, I tell people, I'm like, when you're sitting in streamers' chats or you're part of their discords, you should be trying to find people to play with, find friends, do what you got to do, because I mean, every game's more fun. Even if you're not playing the same game. If us four are in Discord and I'm playing one game and you guys are playing other, we can still shoot the shit. You know, like, you're still staying as a community and you're still talking. Like, hey, you know, like, see this stupid ass Twitter clip? Like, you know, like, I just feel like it's a lot better because I've done that. Lambo does that. He's literally has like 15 people in his Discord while he's gaming.
Yeah.
But he mutes them so they're not on stream, but he's talking to them, and like, again, it's like,
I let them crash out in my ear. So
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So he's like doing stuff and shit like that's cool. But then again, just not. There's no incentive for group play, and this is what I'm leading into. There's a reason why we're talking about all this, because, which is my next topic, a lot of people are against it. I know you guys aren't, but as the game sits right now, you got normal hard. Everybody can get all the loot they want. Everyone can get master rank 28.
I'm 29.
Yeah. Nice troll. But when you turn up everything, it just feels like the components, the grind, the lackluster of loot, it's not encouraging players to keep going and grind, because there's a lot of player fall off at a certain amount of playtime. They're just like, hey, I went and killed the new boss. My build's good. I don't need more. Do you think we need that third difficulty? That way, it encourages players to keep going, can give you more double gold components, maybe killing a pyro boss with a mechanic, hand in 2 amorphous materials or more. Me, I'm all for it, and I think that's one of the biggest throws that the devs are going to not do, and they're really going to fuck it. Because remember, no one needs to touch that third difficulty. Everybody can stay in the normal and the hard difficulty. Do you think the third will help?
There's always going to be the most efficient way to do something, and I think that a third would absolutely help. I think it's honestly almost a rhetorical question, because you look at games like, I know the Division's not alive anymore, but like when you added that difficulty, it made it so there was more reason to perfect your build. You talk about like Diablo, people make the same complaint, you know, like World Tier 4, once you're done with the class, there's nothing else to do, but it's a pretty in-depth game. There's a lot to do. It's just you can do it so quickly that I think that it's just a matter of like, you have to remember, like I said, there's always going to be the most efficient way to do something. And I think that going back to even like 4 people or 1 person, like if 4 people get a buff, then what a solo player is going to be like, oh, well, I don't get that buff. Well, I don't have any friends on. I don't get that buff. I'm doing it less efficient. So they're going to be mad. There's always going to be like that argument.
Can't win.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, I think to answer the question, yes, the third difficulty would obviously help. But if it's doing the same things we're doing right now, it's still going to get old. Because I mean, maybe not everybody's going to be able to do it, but the people that are going to be like, oh shit, okay, this is the same thing I just did on the easier difficulty. Now I've practiced it. Maybe I put in a few more hours, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, and a lot of it depends on the rewards too, right?
Well, yes,
And
the loot has to be worth it, obviously. But if
Yeah.
the loot is worth it, that's what I'm meaning.
I think it's a great idea, but I just don't think the game's ready for it yet.
Mm.
To me, I'd rather see like better open map spaces
I tried for
that
that.
aren't so bland.
I tried
There's,
doing
you
that.
know what I mean? There's no reason to go back to any of those places right now. And it's kind of sad because that's a good place for people to meet each other
Yep.
and group up, you know, and make groups and make friends and stuff like that. I think they just need better Colossus fights like Gluttony and Deathstalker. I'm gonna say it again. I think that's so big. If you had 2 of those in one season, it's great.
They're gonna pull the old resource on you on that one.
Yeah, of course.
The old Bungie special. Yeah, we've seen that one.
I think what makes me sad is that first feeling of like getting to Gluttony, the like day one Gluttony experience, and those like 3-4 weeks preceding were like the most enjoyable, like grueling, just fight that the game had for us, and it was honestly perfect. It was so good, and it was so like you had to coordinate, you had to actually play a role, you actually had to use like all the tools available to make the fight work. And like, I mean, I spent so many days, like just so many days with like memory on Eugen and like I just like people on Valby like using Spiral Tidal Wave and like actually playing the fight and like focus grappling and like literally pulling the boss and just like that is so fun. The coordination that's required and the execution, and then when it happens, it's like holy shit, this is the like this is the payoff. Like it's so good. And for it to just kind of like turn into spam your skills or spam like just let me put the legacy in your hand, like it kind of they take the mechanics out of it, and it really just it kind of blurs the line between a role and just, you know, everyone's just going in there with whatever is the flavor of the
Abyss
week.
Colossus. Abyss Colossus is it's either if you're in there, it's you're looking at the boss and you're saying it's me or you.
Yep.
You know,
yeah.
basically one of us is getting nuked.
One of us is gonna get
the
it.
gameplay.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, and I did just read a comment. I'm gonna address it. Let me scroll back because we always hear this, and I totally agree with it. If you build a game for the 1%, don't be surprised if they're the only ones left playing it. Also, my retaliation to that: a game for everyone is a game for no one.
Yeah, but eventually a game like this is going to accrue so many people over time. Like think about how many people have come to the game, they've maxed out, they have great builds, but now they're gone and they don't have a reason to come back.
They won't come back.
There's just no reason. There's nothing to bring
exactly,
them back.
Exactly. They won't come back. So, you know, if you just try and babysit people the whole time, and it's not just this game making it, you know, because a lot of people are saying season 3 is end all be all. Again, this is going on to the next topic. I don't think it is.
Every season, brother.
I don't think it is. But I did say, I said this, and I wanted to know what you guys thought on this. Beyond season 3, around the August time, it doesn't need to be when they're announcing season 4, whatever season will be around August, because that gives them 13 months of launch. If they don't start addressing things that they're going to change in the future, they could say in August, hey, you guys are getting crazy shit in December. That's my end all be all, pretty much. Because if not, I'm only going to turn the game on when there's content. Just because, again, I've been trolled by game companies before. The whole, hey, we're listening. Like, I feel like by then you have to do something. So, do you feel like you won't run out of gas by then? Like, are you guys just going to stick to it?
I'm sticking with it, but I'll be definitely dabbling in a lot of other games that come out this year.
Smart
Yeah,
answer.
I mean, I think that's That's the smart play. As far as you ask, like, there's a couple different ways you can answer that. Like, are we like looking at it from like a business standpoint? Like, do we want to continue making this our career? And like, if you're answering it that way, like, we got lucky. I mean, I'm just gonna say we got pretty lucky, right? So I feel like a lot of people have this thing. I mean, I always watch Darth microtransaction. I'm sure some people know him, some people might not. But he
Yep.
started making videos on Diablo 4, just blew up, and he was saying like, at the end of the day, like, you kind of get lucky. It's a little bit of RNG. So like for me to answer that question with the business aspect, it's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna continue playing this game. I did stop playing this game at the end of season 1 when I was just totally burnt out. When COD released, I wasn't even playing this game. But now I'm looking at it from a perspective of like, I got pretty lucky. If I can maybe keep playing the game that kind of put me on the map, and then I can dabble in other games eventually. That's what I
Yeah.
would do. That's like the smart way to do it. So I'd agree with Sen. But also, then it's like if I don't like the game and I go to try to do something else, maybe maybe I don't get as good a rap, So it's like it's a hard thing to put my mind around right now, but just kind of stick in the moment, and I'm enjoying it. And I just got back from like a vacation, so I'm ready to hop in right now. I know you guys are like used to the content, like done with it, but I got like 2 days with it, so I'm ready to actually hop back in and go.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's the way to be. Lamb, what do you think?
If I didn't like the game, I wouldn't play it. I genuinely love it, and the second I stop loving it, I will stop playing it because I don't do things that I don't want to do. So I
Yeah.
love the game, and I I feel like it would take them really messing up in the next like 6 months, even for me to just say, yeah, I'm done. Like, I came from a game that I played for 11 years. That was the only game I played. So
That
I
time's
haven't
long
touched
gone
it.
though. Those
And
times are
it's
gone.
like, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
well, yes and no for certain people. Like for me, I can tell you probably without a shadow of a doubt, I'm probably gonna be playing WoW in 10 years if I'm still on this planet.
Yeah, but it's not like your main game. Like you're not grinding. Like that's what I meant. You're not staying on
Right.
one game
No,
anymore.
100%.
That
I mean,
meta's
not, yeah, right.
that meta's
but that's
Too
gone.
many.
I mean, that's League. Like, that's League of Legends. That's what I came from. And that's like, that game is, seasonal content. Like, every season is different. And it's a game it's like, it could keep a player for 10 years. Like, it just can. And it's like,
Most games can't do that no more. I mean,
no.
Warframe,
And I know that that's not a real thing
Warframe
anymore.
struggles,
But like,
Destiny struggles. I mean, they all struggle, but they have their core player base. This game has its core player base. That was more like a me question to you guys because
mhm.
I've been doing. I'm coming up on 9 years this month. In 3 weeks, 9 years streaming. And I just wanted to make sure that you, I just wanted to make sure that you guys don't make the same mistake I did. And that was staying in Destiny all those years. I fucked up.
Well, it's scary moving to a new game,
It
right?
it
no
is.
matter no matter what level you're
I was
at.
so scared. First game that pulled me away, Outriders. I fucked that game up. Man, that was something. Solo Eye of the Storm, I was juicing. I loved it, and then it died. I'm like, great. But that's the thing. I was like, it was weird because when I played that game, like the devs were emailing me and they're like, hey, we'd like to hear your feedback, and I'm like, oh, okay, don't let the game die. Like, don't make this mistake. And like everybody was in the Discord and they were saying shit like, we know you're not going to do live service. Please don't mess up. When they launched their new endgame, their trial, they had the three bosses you'd run into in the trial. It was all the same model. It was the first boss in 3 different arenas, and you're like, how fucking lazy are you? Like, what'd you do?
Gravewalker, Swamp Walker.
Yeah, Gravewalker, Swamp Walker.
Frostwalker?
But that's the thing. And then like when I started playing First Ascendant, I was scared as shit. But then like cool things happen, sponsorships, and I got the dev meeting, and I'm like, man, it's really cool that stuff like that happens. But I just know, like, man, it's scary as shit. And I'll tell you, I grinded the hell out of First Ascendant. As soon as I went back and played Destiny, I cooked my shit. I lost half my viewership. But I wasn't fucking miserable. And I just want to make sure that you guys don't get to that point. Don't get miserable, because that's bad. Like when you get to that point where you're just fried, you're like, dude, I need a break. To take that break. Like,
Well, something
even if it's a
I've
few
learned,
days.
something I've learned quickly, and I've only been streaming a little over 2 months, is that you're gonna attract a core audience of people that just like you.
Yep.
And
No
you'll
matter
know
what
who
you
they
do.
are because they will show up. And you know, if you can just keep that core of people with you and move along to each game and keep building on that, then you got nothing to fear.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Moxie's like a perfect example of that. Like, I know a lot of people like to trash Moxie, but the dude's like basically just moving game to game, and people like him. They literally just
I
like
mean,
him.
He's a
and
machine.
He's an actual literally
He's
he
a
is a
machine.
machine, and Moxie is not. He's not human. Like
Yeah,
he
Right.
doesn't.
He's very unique.
He will do the thing. It's just Moxie is literally like
But he's good at
just
engagement.
a giga machine.
Like making his build videos right there on stream, and he's got chat involved with it. He's asking them questions. They're giving him ideas. You know, he's locked in chat as part of the video. You know what I mean? They're invested in what's happening.
Yeah.
And when he posts it on YouTube, they're gonna go there and they're gonna like it and they're gonna comment because they're invested in it.
Yeah, that's how you got to be. Yeah, Glad's
Right,
a
yeah, every
perfect
game he's
example.
gone to.
But Glad's 1%.
I love Glad.
He's a 1%
I
unicorn.
love you, Glad.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes the you know, you're just likable. You're a likable dude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Definitely not me though.
you definitely got to
I
be
try to
that way.
make sure that nobody likes me. Like that's what I pride myself in.
I've learned over the years that sometimes being me gets me in trouble. But I ain't no
But
fake.
you have to be you.
I have to
The
be
people
me.
are
I'm
gonna
not a
see right
fake
through
ass.
you.
Exactly. The
You
second
can't.
I start being nice or I answer something out of context, people literally whisper me and they go, "What's wrong?" They won't say it in stream to cause like chat to start talking, but they'll be like, "Why are you being this? You know, this person just said some rude ass shit. Why aren't you, barking back?" And I'm like, you know what? He's right. Fuck it, And then I'll upload a short of that, and people will be like, "Oh my god, this guy's a piece of shit." Well, join the club. I don't know what to tell you, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's again, we're getting off track.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tangent, but I think it's good to talk about.
Yeah,
at least,
it's a
so
good
people know.
it's a good thing. This isn't really a question, but it's more of a topic. One thing I can't stand, and here it comes. I can't stand the Warframe reference of this game. I hate it. You're comparing a 10-year-old dinosaur game that requires you to take motion sickness pills before you play
what's
it.
Warframe?
And comparing it to a game that's been out for 7 months, okay? And now we're getting a little tough on Warframe because I'm telling you, I hate it. It's not the game. I just hate when the community comes in and they start barking at it like, "Yo, I love Warframe." No one asked you.
Yeah, Warframe was poopy like this.
No,
early on in its
we
game
didn't
cycle.
ask. We didn't
I
ask.
just gaslight everyone when they start talking about it, and I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about, bud.
But it's
does it
like
come out next
you
year?
can't
Like,
win. You can't
That's
win
Warframe.
because people are like, "Well, Warframe this, Warframe this." Yes, I'll play
Yeah.
Warframe. There's gonna be a time where I go against the First Descendant Brotherhood, and I'm going over there. There will be a time for it, but like, you can't compare a 10-year-old game that did.
Have any of us played Warframe? Because
No.
I have not.
nope.
Okay.
I played like 50 hours like back in
I don't know what it is.
2018.
uh,
All I know is
Oh.
there's good comparisons and bad comparisons. Like people come in and say like, "Oh, Warframe has this, that, and that." It's like, well, like
No, but they're on
I know-
they're on the posts like hate rating it. Like their community will
it's
go on
annoying, for
TFD
sure.
posts and just hate rate it and cancel it.
Yeah.
They're like a fucking poison. It's crazy.
It's super toxic, and I think
Ah.
that what's ironic is that the Warframe itself had just shit reviews. Like when it came out, like first year Warframe, nobody even spoke about that game. Like it was literally so bad. This game got put on the map very quickly, like very quickly. You know, big streamers like Shroud streaming it. You know, they're like doing this crazy marketing, and for them to compare Warframe, anybody who looks at a comparison to Warframe and doesn't think about, oh wow, this game's been out for 10 years, that's why it's so fleshed out. If you're not like looking at it like that, and you're just like putting it at face value, like, oh, Warframe has this right now. It's very silly. I agree.
It's silly.
But I think it's important to have comparisons like that because that actually makes me feel better about this game. I don't know about you guys, but it makes me feel better about this game. I don't even play Warframe. I played it like I said, like barely, but it makes me feel better that this game is looking to have a better trajectory at the start at least. And they have said, hey, we want to work on this game for a decade to come, right? Like it makes me feel good.
I just
knowing
don't
that at
understand why
least,
people
but
can't like both.
Also that. It's a very toxic thing. I think it's just like in the gaming community in general.
It's the
You know
same.
what, though?
That's my streamer. No, that's my streamer. You know what I mean? Xbox,
There-
no PlayStation. Blah. It's the same shit.
there are actually like a good amount of people in my community that do play Warframe and like Warframe, and they still play TFT every day and they play Warframe, and I'm like, I I know that, you're allowed to like two games.
You
The
are.
thing is, if you come from a game that is the outline of the game we're currently playing, I understand you're going to compare them. I get it. But it's where they draw that line of like it's so hard set, like, yeah, but Warframe has this, and it's like, yeah, but this isn't Warframe. It's okay to compare and keep that in your head when you compare,
Yeah.
because you have no other reference. But like, it's not Warframe, it's not Destiny, it's TFD, booba jiggle game, okay? Like,
It is, yeah. If anything, you should be proud. Like, hey, TFD came out and they used Warframe's base stuff in their game to make their game. Like, hey, we started that, But like the devs do it to themselves too, because when I was in their dev meeting and I asked about clans and guilds, they literally looked at me and said, "Oh, we were thinking like a Warframe system." I'm like, "You're doing it to yourself." They said that, and I'm like, "What? Why are you using that reference?" Like, that's that's why people are. But in the long run, when they answered it thoroughly, they were just like, "Oh, we were just using it as a reference. If we did something like that, it'd be like their system." But I'm like, "Well, do your own thing, Don't worry about what they're doing, Don't worry about that, because again, people will compare it more, because I mean that's literally my only grief. Like, I love streaming this game, but dude, it's like a fucking broken record every single day. It's like Warframe. It's like, bro, at this point I'm just like, I don't know what the game is. I give them the Lambo answer, like, what's that game? I don't even know what the fuck it is.
what's Warframe, dude?
Well, what is it? Because it's just,
Never heard of him.
it's
I just
tiring.
tell them that shit's old as fuck, and I'm not gonna play it.
I say the same shit. I'm gonna be uploading fucking Warframe videos in 6 months. Like, this is the best game ever. Thanks for subbing. People are gonna be shitting, clipping shit right now, talking mad shit. But yeah, I mean, but again,
I get it. They just need to compare it to something, but it's just like, it's the game they put years into, so
yeah,
they need to voice their opinion about that. That's the veteran complex. Like,
yeah.
I put all this time and effort into a game. Like, okay, cool. I'm playing TFT.
Something to be said about like the amount of negativity that we listen to as well, right? Because like there's always like the negative is loud, negative is louder, whatever that saying is. Sorry, I got the brain fog right now, but it's just always louder. And it's obviously, you got Reddit, you got like Twitch chats, you got like hive minds, kind of like mob mentalities. So like it all comes back to, I like, anytime this comes up in my stream, I'm just like, dude, just like play what you enjoy. It's not a huge deal. Like, play what you enjoy. If you're still having fun, great. If you're not,
Yeah.
cool. Like, just do what you enjoy. The game for me, it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. I go and play WoW like all the time. Like, I jump to another game. I burnt out of for the first Senate because I played it just like you guys, like 8 to 10 hours. I did a 15-hour stream one time. Obviously, that's nothing compared to some of you guys. Like, especially Lammy's doing 7,000-hour stream. But like, I
I
got
just
burnt
started
out.
yesterday.
Like, you literally just have to. You just have the negativity is always gonna be there, and you just have to think to yourself like, hey, am I gonna let somebody else's like opinion determine if I'm gonna play this game, or am I gonna like let my own like opinion, just going and jumping in and playing it, determine if I'm gonna play the game?
Yeah. Well, plus to add what you're saying, and the game's just not designed for that. The game, the way the TFT is set up right now, it's not designed to play more than 8 hours a day.
Right. It's so new,
Because
and it's a grind game that's so new. Exactly.
well, it's the poor system, like Sen said. Like, you're doing the dog shit boss fights that you kill 30 seconds to farm some little green tickets. Like, no one cares. Like, it's just and then it's like, hey, go do Void Vessel 100 more times. Like, it's a system to where it's going to struggle with endgame. Like,
Right.
if they
That's
stay
why
on,
it's gonna take time.
yeah, it's gonna take time, but with the viewership, I mean, I don't know. The games I play, I always study Twitch demographics. I look up Twitch strat, uh, Twitch stat trackers. I look up demographics, what people around the world are watching, and it's pretty rough right now. Like, it is.
and then Moxie starts streaming it today, and then it's completely variable, completely a random spike. Like it to me, that stuff I understand. You've been doing this a lot longer than I have, so I get it. Statistically speaking, that is the correct way of looking at it, and that's how I've looked at it as well. And you're right, it is rough. But with a game like this that's so new, and you have creators like you and Moxie that just start streaming, like they spike those numbers. So honestly, some people could argue that it's a lot worse than you even think, right? Because if Clyde, if you're not streaming this game right now, we're at 500 viewers instead of 1,000,
you
1,500
guys
for the
usually-
category.
And we have drops right now, and the drops actually help
drops.
a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah,
When the
no,
drops
you guys.
when the drops go, it's real bad.
No, I mean, you guys do really well at that. I mean, it's just you gotta pay attention to those view botters. But that's another day.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I need to get on that wave, dude. I need to lock in with
unfortunately
that.
it's that easy now to do it. I mean, it's bullshit, and guys that work hard don't get fucking partnered, and some people get handouts. But again, we don't want to stir the pot and make anybody upset.
I do.
I'm actually
You don't
upset.
want that smoke, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but at the same time, it's like, man, I don't give a shit. Like, I swear, man, the people that just take the cop out and like,
CCV between Warframe and TFD right now is uncomparable because you got the almighty goat himself, Astacross, playing Warframe.
Yeah,
That guy's a
he
fucking
could
cheat
stream
code.
himself picking his ass. So
He could pick it.
10,000 viewers.
I'd watch. But yeah, Astacross is
He's got a voice.
He's bringing a voice to Warframe, which is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm
Got
glad
the
that he's enjoying it. A few Destiny creators have went over there, but I still think Warframe's more. Again, it's more balanced because obviously it has more concurrent players. I think Warframe sits on around 100,000 daily, which is impressive. But that's with adding console numbers in that we don't know. I know Steam
but
averages.
is it how many people or how many creators like is that the majority of that? Is it just?
What do you mean?
He's talking about Steam charts.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I
I'm
thought
talking about Steam
Warframe's
charts,
streaming.
and I'm talking about console numbers. Because usually,
okay.
when a game is available on all three platforms, Steam's usually a third. It depends on the game.
Yeah.
But like with this game, people are like, "Oh my god, I saw the Steam charts." I'm like, "Yeah, but you guys don't see there's a lot of console players on this game, a lot.
Especially a free game on console.
A
People
free
are
game on
constantly
console
pulling
is
that up.
huge, and people don't understand that. But again, you got weirdos. Again, we're not name dropping, but 95% player rate drop. Yeah, those numbers are false. Like, of course you're gonna have stuff drop, but there's still a lot of people to play this. There is like
Tons.
there's
Especially
tons.
when the season drops and there's content. I'm a nobody on YouTube, right? And I had some good builds for Defiler, and I have videos that got 45, 50,000 views, and I don't have a lot
the
of
YouTube
subs on
audience.
YouTube.
The
So that just
YouTube
shows
audience
you
is huge for
where-
this game. It is.
Yes,
it is
but it
there.
falls off for sure.
It falls off. Yeah, it does.
Especially if you're focused on builds. People come, they get the builds, and
Screenshot.
they just
It's
don't,
over.
They just don't need you no more.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I was working on an S, people come in like, "Can I see the build?" And I'm like, "You're just gonna put this build on? You're not gonna understand how it works." Because you could screenshot a build, but if you put it all on and don't know how the loop works, you're just gonna get shit on. But yeah, I was doing some funny stuff. I was showing them the wrong mods. At first, I was being a dick. I'm like, "There's a glitch. You only run 2 modules on your Descendant, and the boss falls over in 30 seconds." Really? I'm gonna run those 2. I'm like, "No, I'm kidding. Don't do that."
Oh, that's where you went wrong. You said you were kidding. You
Yeah.
I got banned for everything. I
Yeah.
learned well from some certain streamers.
You learn
I
a
got
lot.
command for everything.
You gotta learn a lot, But again, like, what leads me to my next question. What would you do in the next 6 months? You could spit out 3 topics. In the next 6 months, what would you change in the game to bring more life to it? That's tough. It's tough to answer. But just if you could think of 3 things, just bang, what would it be?
All right, I got ADHD. Let me go first since I'm thinking real quick.
All right.
All right. So 1 is more rotating rewards to keep content fresh. Obviously, you've got rotating rewards already in the game with reactors right now. But if you have a good week to go in and maybe farm a material that you need for X, Y, or Z, whatever, what have you, I think that's automatically a win because you're not doing the same stuff. Now, obviously, you could argue that they already added that with the random dungeon finder, but I think that there should be a broader way of doing it, just like they do reactors, where it's just like, hey, this is a good week to go and get my materials for X, Y, or Z instead of just running Void Vessel over and over and over and over. Get something fresh. It's one thing I think that would be nice if they just did. And then just talent trees, man. I love talent trees. I think that if they add more bosses like Deathstalker, whenever you defeat it, you get more powerful and powerful. Not necessarily a borrowed power system, but like just an evergreen system where you kind of just get more powerful and more powerful each time you beat it. Harder bosses equal, if you end up getting those kills over and over again, you're gonna have an easier time the further you get into it. Just skill trees in general. Like I just love skill trees. It's probably a biased thing as far as adding content, but I think that they always help. Obviously, having too many is not good,
Yeah, some
but I
Path of
think they
Exile
could.
shit.
Yeah, right. That's not what I'm getting at all. Trust me. I don't even play PvE. That got me like just no. But just like where certain things have skill trees or some kind of evergreen system where you're getting power by doing it over and over instead of just, oh, I'm getting this reward to get my weapon better and then my weapon's only like 10% better and I can do it 2 seconds quicker. Like there needs to be a little bit more of that. So those two things, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head right away, but those two things I think would be pretty cool. Obviously, the new zones they're coming out with in season 3, new faction, so Fire Descendants actually have a reason to be played. But yeah,
Good answer.
Okay, I'll go next. I would like to see more Colossus fights, like Deathstalker and Gluttony, obviously.
Okay.
I think it's good to have the Abyss ones rotating, but I don't think they should be the main attraction of the Colossus fights. As far as the open world areas, it would be great to have more, but not if they're the same type of shit that we're looking at now. Because you're going to go there, you're going to do the quests, and you're never going to go back. So I think improving those, hopefully they do something with the outposts and making them into some kind of open world boss fight, or maybe like you just have that space become the end boss, like we see in Void Vessel, where you got to do some mechanics and maybe you could target some components. And I think targeting components is huge. And I think they missed something big with the Abyss bosses, where you should be able to target a component set because it's just more loot at the end of it. And farming components is miserable. Um, I like Void Vessel, but it is shit. But at the same time, I think it's a good start to a hard dungeon, but it needs a lot of improvement. So seeing them improve on something like Void Vessel uh, would be pretty nice too. I think that pretty much covers anything I can think of right now.
That was good.
I mean, we have this map and all these areas that are just so empty for no reason. Like, give us something to do. Give us an open world thing. Give us a timer on the map and put a fucking Colossus there, or throw like a swarm of fucking enemies. Like, do something that is like incentivizing you to just be in the open world and experience something with other players that has like a limited reward. Like, throw stuff at us that just makes us explore the game, like explore the map, and give us like an actual unique experience that is supposed to like reflect the how like, you know, cool the maps look. I mean, I just
They're
feel
awesome.
I feel like the first time that you go to fucking White Knight and you look up and you see the eyeballs following you, and you see how like how much detail they put into the map and like into the like unique areas, and like the whole map there, it's literally like it's like it's alive, literally. And it just makes me sad that like it doesn't stand up and try to kill me. Like like it's Unreal Engine 5, like they can do that. Like it just kind of makes me feel like there's so much that could be happening in the game, but they're like hanging on to something or holding back somewhere because I don't know, maybe they're trying to hang on to last gen consoles and not make their consoles explode. But
They're already exploding.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, is that even an experience for them? I genuinely feel bad. I'm like, why put the game on these? I mean, and I understand it's console accessibility, but I just feel bad that like anytime there's an update, it just gets compounding in how
PlayStation got destroyed.
terrible it is for them. Like,
PlayStation couldn't sign in. They got smoked.
it sucks, man. I feel bad. Like I hear it all day, and I'm just like, I don't know what they like. It's Nexon's fault. You can't offer it and then like dangle it in front of the player and then be like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a free game. Go ahead.
You can't expect everybody to have high-end PCs and
I know,
next-gen
and it's like-
console. You know, you can't. It's not fair.
No, it's not fair. And it's like draw the line or make something change, make it more accessible, or I don't know. Maybe it's got to be a huge like downgrade or separation, but it's just a bummer because I mean shit, we get Freyna and then we get Inez. It's like, yeah, your 4090s are warm. Like
Yeah, my shit. Dude,
you think that the consoles are surviving and like hell no.
I did
It's not fair.
I did a Echo Swamp defense with 4 Freynas. It was me and 3 others, and I was on my 4090. I was literally getting 32 frames, and then it
Frame
dropped
9.
down to like 17. I thought the game was just gonna crash.
Yeah, it's
That's my number one.
unreal.
I don't know. Did you cover all 3?
I mean, aside from open world events and like giving players a reason to play together,
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there needs to be like more of a daily objective outside of signing in to just start your craft. You know, like give us something that is actually a reason to sign in, like a reason to experience a new thing. Like why aren't they like taking advantage of the fact that like they give us one boss, but why in the hell does this boss have to be the same every week?
Yeah.
Like I get that it's the boss, but like why don't they just change it? Why don't they give us a debuff or give them a
stand the
buff
boss
or like
arena. I can't.
and it because it's so lame and monotonous, but it's like you master it and you just spam repeat the same thing. Fuck me up, like make it hard. Do something that is actually engaging. I want to like suffer because I'm already doing something that's so boring and not engaging. Like give me a reason to do it and make it punishing and rewarding, because that's what we want. We don't care that it's just a boss that we're not like suffering because it's so hard. We're suffering because it's so unbelievably boring.
Hey, you got to make
Like-
your own challenges.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, you do.
Go into pubs with
try,
Luna.
Try to do Zenith Haley on Defiler in under a minute. I did
Yeah.
that shit for 8 hours because it was something to do.
Yeah.
And you loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, but a lot of mentions about open world bosses. I'm not trying to kill the vibe.
SMO
But
side quest W.
I'm not trying to kill the vibe on the open world stuff, but that was one of the questions I had for the devs, and they shut it down.
And they shot it right
They
down.
shot it right down because I was like, world.
You know, and it's probably because of last gen, because they're trying to not
I
separate
don't think it's
their
because of
player
that. I
base.
think it's just because they're living.
Focus on
Again,
other
I'm
things.
saying this nicely. They're just living in a fantasy world. Like when they told me, like, oh, our game's about collecting and everyone's just gonna unlock everything. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No,
Nah,
that's
not.
bro. They're
That's the
playing
start.
one character. They're
Yeah.
finding the most OP character and they're just running it right now. They do
Mhm.
not make another character. They do not make other weapons unless they're told to. If we go
No,
back
they're
to
saving their resources for the second Descendant.
yeah, they're
So-
saving their resources. You know, it's the Tamer versus Enduring Legacy. You told people, everyone was saying, Tamer's dog shit. It got you through the hard mode bosses, but now it's time to go get the big brother. This Enduring Legacy is the most broken fucking bossing thing ever. You just stand there with an Enzo buff and destroy every boss. No, I'm good. I don't need it. Want to know why? They didn't want to grind for it.
But Clyde, I already have
Well,
9
and
catalysts into
And to
my
be honest,
Tamer.
you don't need it. It's
don't.
I was pissed about the cores because what the fuck do we need cores for right now? Why did our guns
no
need to
reason.
become so much stronger?
Yeah.
They gave us this. It's a good system. I think it's
It's
a great
so-
system actually, but there's nothing to do with it. now I can just slap the boss I was already slapping a little quicker.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like,
cores should have came with content that you needed for.
I
just
think
wait
the
till
idea
level
with
10 cores
is
come out.
I was gonna say I think the idea with cores is that when we do get our level 30 with the leaderboards and stuff coming out, I think this is gonna be a. I mean, I'm always like glass half full, really optimistic, but I think this is gonna be kind of like a pretty big moment because you're gonna have hopefully, and if this isn't the case, then I'll just get shit on by everybody in the chat. That's okay, but hopefully you're gonna be able to need a weapon to be maxed out on cores to be able to get that that high ranking in that leaderboard for level 30, right? Like that's
a
the
nice
idea.
leaderboard with cheats, bud.
I mean, there's gonna be.
Make
I know there's gonna be
God.
cheats.
The whole
Rank one.
leaderboards are pointless. They're going to be filled with cheaters. You're never going to achieve it.
Thank you. I've been saying that for weeks.
Make
Yeah.
that your goal to beat the cheaters, but screenshot it, enjoy it. But the leaderboards are stupid. The community's already toxic enough to bring in. You guys know how it is.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's a
if your
bread,
build
like,
doesn't
it's
kill,
just like a
if your build kills in 25 and my build kills in 24, the community looks like it has your 25 second build's
yours is
dog shit.
trash.
And that is
Yeah.
just not fair because people don't know what crit farming is, and that's
It's
not
true.
fair. And I told people
No, it's
that.
true. Yours is shit because it's 1
Yeah,
second.
it's not fair. Like people told me that all the time. They're like, Clyde,
Still
you can
waiting
do
on
this
the
and you
SMO
can
clear
kill
faster than this.
Yeah, you could do this. You could kill the boss quicker. You could do this. But I'm like, dude, I even told people in an S build video, I said, don't use dangerous ambush. Put on HP mods. You don't need to run all this crazy
Truly.
shit glass cannon. But if you want to output damage, this is what you're going to want to put. But I learned surely quick enough. I had people join me, and I was running the glass cannon build with just me and one other person on Defiler. I was getting smoked. I couldn't stay alive because the people I'm helping, they're not really involved. They don't want to die. So I was the fucking punching bag, and I'm like, I'm going to take off a range mod. So I put on 2 healing mods. I put on, 2 HPs. I took off one of my range, so I cucked my damage a little bit. But dude, we were just killing. Minute kills. Huge difference because I could just stand there and tank a little bit. But you're not running the most optimized shit, so you're trash. It's like. But again,
It's always
I
gonna be
mean-
an issue for sure. I agree, but I think that if you have a Luna clearing, obviously you're gonna have cheaters, but if you have a certain clear time on Luna, if you're not posting YouTube videos, if you are posting YouTube videos, it's gonna feel satisfying and rewarding, at least for me.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you're right
I'm
about
gonna
the
beat
core
your
thing.
Lepic run, by the way.
No
Did you-
shot, you beat my Lepic run.
I think you're right about the
just
core
built him
thing. I
yesterday
think
for you.
the
Oh,
reason
baby.
they put the cores on is just because they're sick of us using skill power. That's why the cores don't carry over to your skill power alts.
Yeah,
They just want you to use your weapons more. I love the sprint speed on the stat stick weapons. Triple sprint speed is fucking amazing.
But they predict, they determine what we use by
They do.
resistances and all of that.
They do. That's
they
where
are
the
in
shit
sole
comes
control
in.
of that.
And I feel like that 30 through 50 when they add that in March, because on 5 days we get 21 through 30, and then in March we're gonna get additional 20. So maybe we get cores up to 15.
Have you seen the core's values, by the way?
What they go up to?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know why we're gonna be this strong. It makes I'm gonna put it in the group chat for you right now.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably
Unbelievable.
crazy. It's crazy how high
You're
it scales.
literally
And that
gonna
was
walk
data
into
mined, by the way.
Stalker, and you're gonna naturally just knock him down with your gun, and he's gonna die.
Wait, so this
I'm pretty sure 4 people can do that already.
this is what level 10 goes up to?
Yes. Like, it's just making the guns that are broken
This is like
unbelievably
Wait, am I
broken.
reading this right? This is literally
You are.
like triple.
550. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
huh? Okay.
it is insane. Like,
Wow.
I mean, there's a reason I have 5 smithereens built, like 5 of 5, because it's the only gun that matters. Like, it's the only gun it's the gun because
Also
it just
you're
is broken.
bonkers.
All right. Well,
Well-
before we get sidetracked on this, I just want to mention my 3 things because I'm over here yapping.
Dark gun, true.
Optimization's number 1 for me. Number 1, the game is not optimized.
Performance.
It's absolute dog shit.
Agree.
People on
Agree,
console
agree.
can't play. I've seen clips. People have sent me them recording their console plays and their low end PCs, and it's a bad look on the game. And they need to fix it. Number 1, 100%, fix your shit. I felt so bad for PlayStation gamers last update. They're like, I can't sign in. Clyde, I can't play. Clyde, I have to play the PS4 version. I'm like, the fuck you do? Don't you go play this game on
man.
PS4. Just close your game, sit back.
It's rough.
I know the pain. I sat there for Shadowkeep waiting for Destiny to launch for 9 hours, and we couldn't launch. Guess what happened? I end stream, and I was told, Clyde, delete 10 people off your friends list. You have too many friends. We deleted 10 people. I signed in. There was a bug that if you had too many friends on the game, you couldn't play. It was a fucking joke. So I'm used to that. I'm trained to server issues. But one thing this game is good about is their uptime. They're really good at updates. As soon as that server goes live, except for the last one, they did have to extend it, but not a big deal. Who gives a shit? But they're really good at it. The devs are on the mark. I think optimization is 100% number one on the list. Number two, endgame. I mean, I could just keep copy pasting this. There's no endgame. Do not make the same mistake as these other games. Give us endgame. Give us what Sen said and what Denny and Lambo said. Give us the gluttony.
We're so strong. Give us something to
give us the gluttony.
Be strong with.
Give us the boss that you can solo. Remember, you can still go in solo. It could be a day one difficulty gluttony kill. You can go in solo, but you can also, launch with your friends and have fun. But there needs to be a reason. So before they're tuning up the difficulty of the game, you have to give everybody that plays the game, even if you're a new Andy, a mid Andy, or you're a veteran, you have to give them a reason to want to do it. Because if not, the game needs to stay as it sits now. There's no reason to make it harder because that's what people are going to look at it. These guys are struggling with that boss fight for 2 hours. What are they getting? The components with blue rolls. Oh, they get a green ticket where they can go become the Power Rangers Alpha 5, You guys remember that dog shit last boss. But, there's no reason for it. So they need to give you a reason. Power creep is going to be that you should have power creep. Trust me, I push one button in Destiny right now with a goddamn hammer. Consecration smack. I'm going to still do it on Tuesday because they're like, it's getting nerfed. I'm like, it's still busted. The power is here. The content's here. You can have that in this type of game. The TFD, it's power fantasy. It's fun. You got Innis Rhea. You got great assets. When you look at the skybox is great. And it's like what Sen said. If you bring jiggle physics, the Gunu Squad's coming. I hate that.
They better be ready for that.
I hate that that's their number one priority is fucking all these.
Well,
these
you talk about optimization, and I don't know anything about making a game or developing a game, but I'm pretty common sense, and I can imagine that when you're adding something into a game called jiggle physics, that's going to make more things move on the screen. The game is only going to be less optimized.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, right, but
you're not wrong at all.
To me, that's common sense.
But that's what they're focusing on. And Old School just said the right thing. He said they're not interested in hard content. It takes 8 to 12 months to create a new Colossus. That is unacceptable. That right there is where you go hire people and you make a team and you get it done. How bad do you...
Take the people that make Gluttony and Deathstalker, put them in a fucking room, and have them just start cooking Colossus.
How bad do you want your game to survive?
Don't let them out.
You
Tell them they have to make a new boss.
Because you got to show the community. You got to show the community that you want your game to survive, and that's number 3 for me. And then the third thing that I'd like to see from just the game period is trust. That's it. Like I've seen so many games just crash and burn just simply because they can't be trusted. They say they're going to do something, they don't do it. They say they're going to, want to bring more excitement to the game, but they don't do it. It's just, hey, go do one activity, grind the tickets, go hand them in, and then go do the other activity to unlock this character. Oh, and then, hey, wait a minute. Before you unlock that character, go run the same dungeon 27 times. Have fun, pal.
I'll be the sucker and say, like, they haven't given me a reason to not trust them yet. They've actually been very, like, they've gone way above what a developer should and be. They've been as transparent as they could be. I know that, like, you have more insight to that than any of us, but, like, in terms of their reactiveness to the community and how, like, they respond, what developer or company does that? Like, they genuinely they care. They obviously care, and they want
They
to do as
do.
much as they can
They do.
to make the player's game.
They need to put that effort though into the right place. That's the big deal.
That's the ticket right there. You're
And
listening.
and I'm not saying
It's
it should
getting
be me.
steered.
I'm not saying it should be me or Lambo or Denny's or Clyde.
No.
They should be talking to content creators. As a Clyde, you're pretty big, and I know you had the Q&A with them. But have you ever had one of them come in your stream chat before?
No.
Now, you've had that before in other games, though, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
To me, that's kind of big, and I know the language barrier, but
But
you know they can get a
that's
translator.
a real thing. Like there's a disconnect.
But
And that's
I've been
something that's,
treated
like-
with most respect from these devs. I mean, never have I the respect that TFT devs gave me. I never got that from Bungie or anybody. And I'm not shit talk. I mean, trust me, I've talked to Bungie. I've talked to like game devs at TwitchCon and GCX. I have connections with them, but I'm saying as a company, I felt like TFT was nice. Did take care of the content, with me and talking to me, and like again, like they forked out a shitload of money for sponsoring stuff. Not just me, I'm just saying like big names. Like it was insane how much marketing they put out there, and they're listening. But again, like when you listen to the wrong person or you listen to the wrong crowd, like
it's a language barrier for sure. I don't think they're not genuinely like they're trying. It's clear they're trying, but the language barrier is.
But what about all the nerfs?
It's unacceptable.
How's that acceptable?
It's kind of unacceptable. Like
how is all the nerfs acceptable? How is
well that's the
making
thing.
the
Like,
game easier? You don't even need to do outposts. You don't need to.
But they're pulling in their interpretation of like that small percentage of like. I mean, we like stop. Everyone needs to stop complaining about the easy game. Like it. Like we're doing it to ourselves. The more we complain, that's what they're hearing. Because guess what? The complainers are the loudest fuckers. They're always going to be the loudest ones.
Yeah.
So people don't go out of their way to compliment and like say, you guys did a good job on your game. No, they will go insanely far out of their way to post something on Reddit or to like put it on blast because they want their insignificant opinion to be known.
Yeah.
And it's like, it gets magnified and it's always going to reflect back and they're going to see it and they're going to hear it and it's going to just be like over and over. They're like, yeah, this looks bad. It's got to be bad because it's being said. But the reality is it's a small percentage of the people that are complaining and they just want everything to be handed to them anyways.
They shouldn't listen
and
to me.
Kind of unfortunate.
I don't want any devs to listen to me because I don't want that target. Like I really, I don't want the devs to listen to content creators because most of the time.
No,
like,
we're biased.
Most of the time, we're biased.
If we try not to be.
We try not
That's
to.
Why I say the same
we're
thing.
We're biased, but we talk to a lot of people.
See, there it is.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give
on
the money.
The collective opinion. That's the real thing.
They're making
not
their
mine.
job harder when they do that stuff in Discord because they don't know who they're talking to. They're talking to Joe, who downloaded the game 3 days ago, and he's been playing one-handed the whole time, and he wants to know about what he can fucking paint in the game.
But when you're chat oriented like you guys are, you guys look at chat. I know you guys do. I've been in your chats. You have photographic memory. So what is the number one thing you see when new content comes up? What's the number one when you're playing new TFT content? What's 1 to 2 quotes that you see in chat?
That's a tough one, dude. I'm gonna go with Jiggle Physics when. And geez, I might be wrong here. Yeah, is it worth playing? Maybe
is TFT dying?
That's no. Is it worth playing? Is one. That's what I had.
Yeah.
Is TFT dying?
And I just tell them if you like to grind, don't come here.
The second
if
one
you don't
is
like to grind, don't come here.
The second one is that it?
Is that it?
Is that it? People said the new drought. The new tent is just not there. That's the 2 number 1 answers that I see. Is it worth playing? And then the people that do play it, they're like, oh, well, is that it? That's what I've seen.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You are absolutely right. I see that a lot.
And it's essentially the same thing in a different, like said differently. It's like, oh man, I just did all the things that were added to the game like last weekend. And what do I do? This is it? Like, what am I waiting for next?
Oh.
Like people will come back and ask, when is the next thing? Because I'm already done with whatever was just here.
There it is.
And
There it
that's
is.
like that's the same thing, because it's like at the like they want to play the game, like, clearly, but you can't fault them for, they're not a psychopath like me. Like they're not going to sit and do like nothing for a funny all day, and they want to
Yeah.
play a game where they have something to do. They want a goal, but like they're coming back to be like, is the game that I like, is there a reason to come back? Is there a reason to like, is this thing that is being added, is it real engagement, or is it another, I do it for however long and then I move on?
Yeah, it's like cores. Why would the average player really sit here and core every weapon?
They
to do
won't.
what?
They won't. And I tell them not to. I say don't do it.
I mean, literally, coring
There's
every
nothing
weapon
in the game.
is not worth it.
It's probably one of the best examples is the cores. Is there's nothing in the game that you need to go do it for. You can go kill Defiler without cores.
Yep.
People ask that all the time on YouTube comments. Do I need cores?
No.
No.
Yeah.
You barely need a fucking gun.
Yeah. That's how it was when Haley came out. When Haley came out, I'm like, guys, don't go reactor farm. Look at this. I got a Lepic reactor on. Bam. Just shit on the boss. And they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go get that now. But yeah, which there we go to the next thing I wanted to ask you guys. Do you agree that reactor farming is the worst thing to do in the game?
It's pretty bad. I farmed
doing
Innis
Defiler over and
reactors
over.
for like 12 hours straight on stream
Okay.
before she came out.
Reactor farming is the most, like, it's so incorrect in terms of like what we should ever be doing in this game, that it's so insignificant. We've given ourselves this arbitrary like
Correct.
podium for reactors, when the reality is that shit doesn't matter in the slightest.
No, double gold.
Your
double
double
gold or
reactor-
nothing.
Double gold or nothing,
Is-
yeah.
But like, let's be honest, we've done that shit to ourselves, and it means nothing. It
means nothing.
Not even. It's like 100 Colossus on a Colossus roll is 0.04% damage.
It is.
Do you think that matters? Hell no.
To us,
But
it does.
You bet your ass I'm
If
still
I get
gonna
a gold
farm for it.
if I get a gold 2,500, I'm pissed. I'm like, where's the 26?
That's the thing,
Yeah.
though. Is you created that problem for yourself.
I did. I know I did.
No, that's the truth. Like, we can't. We've all done that shit to ourselves, and the reality is, if we hate it so much, why are we doing that to ourselves?
because we don't give a fuck.
Because there's not a lot to do. That's the answer to that.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
no.
Because we are
Streams.
giving ourselves an arbitrary goal, and like,
nah, you
it's
guys,
our own
you want the
way.
dopamine. You want to see that
I
number
know
go
it's
up.
getting
Getting
I
Innis
agree.
reactors
You wanna
for
see that
12
number
hours
go
and
up.
people
I
loved
agree.
it.
I agree. I have
When that
5
dopamine
level-
hits,
or, wait, I have 23 level 5 reactors already, and
yeah, you're fucking
that's
nuts.
just because I'm out of my fucking mind, and I'm not saving resources for the second Ascended.
It was
I'm
like
using them
me.
all,
It was
but-
like me for Haley when I don't know if you guys were a part of this, but like it was me and Moxie and like a couple other creators. We were battling to see who can make the boom cannon of Haley hit the hardest on Pyro. I'd hit a 19 and be like,
That's
hey,
badass.
hey, Clyde hit a 19. Moxie hit 19.5. I'm like, fuck reactor. Like I gotta do something. I'm like, I hit 20. We're good. And then the next day, Moxie hit 20 million and 2. You suck. Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's
that's like
constant.
I'm like,
That's
I
like an
lost by
inherent
2.
problem.
We did a 15-second Defiler with Luna and 3 Innis, and then I woke up Saturday morning and here was this bug with Glay that you can kill Defiler in 5 seconds.
Yep.
But then, the funny Esimo in 8 seconds, that is legit real.
I watched
It is
that.
Still,
I did see that.
I'm waiting for the that was so much fun and so much time and prep.
I watched
and, like,
it. Yeah, I was watching you do that. But the thing is
Man.
like, the thing is, you can't kill the reactor grind because I tell people like that's core playing time in the game for hours that the devs want you to do.
It would be great if there was a actual like good gameplay though to get it.
Well, that's what I said. That's what
No,
I
I
led with.
agree.
I led with. I don't know if it was in the video of the Q&A, but I did hit him with this. I said, look, you can put it in the video or not because I took their end. Because like the person that was in the Q&A with us was recording all of us at once. Like my recording was only like me. Like every time someone talked in the meeting, it would like show me their face, but it wouldn't show me everybody. So I took their cut. But I don't know if this made it in. But I asked him. I said, look, reactor farming's trash. It's hot trash. Especially now, it's just Freyna exit, you know, pull grenades, get out the Lepic, pull the grenades, pull the boss in Uganda. Now fry with, like, again, if you're solo, it's tough. But I told them, I'm like, look, you want playtime, you want people to grind your game. Why can't we masterwork a reactor? There's a 6% drop rate in hard mode, and that's the energy activator. Obviously, if you use an advanced shape stabilizer, you could juice it. But what if there was an actual like 5% drop rate, 4% drop rate of a material, of an item that you can't boost, but if you do get it, you masterwork your reactor, and that reactor becomes able to re-roll the perks. Build diversity. So you still got to grind.
I actually really like that idea.
You still got to
what?
grind, but if you get it, you get that one golden charm reactor that pretty much it takes care of your Haley and your VS, you know, your VS or whatever. Like that reactor is used now for those builds, and then you got to grind your ass off and get another one. That's what I said.
I mean, I agree. Like there needs to be something that is rare to the point to where it's a surprise to us. Like we know what double gold reactors look like. Like I mean, I literally don't even use it, but it's in my storage just because it's a 8585 toxic tech reactor.
I seen that.
That's literally perfect. It's perfect, but I don't use it because it's stupid. Like it is dumb. There's no other like end. That's the end. That's it. That's literally like, give me something that nobody. Where's my fucking 0.9 reactor? Like, give me something that like there's a uniqueness to the grind for, instead of these like arbitrary scales of your damage is going to be the same down to the fucking single digit. Like, I promise it's not worth it. It doesn't mean anything. Make it mean something so we can keep grinding like psychos.
What do you guys think, Denny? Son?
Oh, did
About
I not
reactors?
About that? Just saying, like adding a grind to it, like to make it meaningful.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of base things they need to fix first. Like you can't even re-roll your first mounting.
It's gonna be added.
Yeah, they're
Don't worry.
fixing that.
Yeah, I know, but we're like how many months in that's still a thing?
Yeah, we're listening. It's coming in season 6.
I think the whole weapon thing is kind of silly, but they've kind of dug a hole into that now where they've made so many changes that how are they just now all of a sudden going to say, oh, actually, you know what? It doesn't matter what weapon you have. And I don't see why it really does matter what weapon you have. I think that should have went a long time ago, but that's where we're at with that. Just making the farm better to get them. Maybe some way to focus on reactors. I think Defiler, like I said, the Abyss Colossus would have been a good way to focus. Hey, I want to get Slayer set pieces out of this, or I want to get this fire tech reactor out of this. That makes the content just better because you get drops. But I do like the idea of leveling up the stats, not re-rolling the stats. I think that's silly. But like leveling up your Colossus damage or your cooldown stat
to max.
And that has to come with something where you need to make it 5. You need to mount 3 times. You need, like you said, an energy activator.
It's like the end all be all. But when you do it, yeah.
But again, that's more power, and we don't need more power.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want more power. I want something to do with my power.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that they could like do creatively that would incentivize us to want to farm something differently. I mean, even like maybe similar to like the dungeon patterns, when you go into a Defiler, you get to pick your drop of loot based off of like element type. Like you drop, it drops only like chill or only like fire or only electric, like,
and take the
different
fucking
reactors.
Weapons out of the Colossus drops and replace them with components and reactors.
Exactly.
Yeah, weapons shouldn't.
Two components make no sense because of how many.
Game, actually.
Well,
I mean, even if they say like, yeah, components are gonna, but like, why give us one set that is the Slayer set and everything else is like a joke?
Yeah.
And like, you're like anti-creativity. It's like you're using anything besides the Slayer set. What's wrong with you? I mean, that's just the truth. Like,
It sucks.
you can't
yeah.
make something so unbelievably strong and then have all these other sets in the game that look like they would be fun to explore and use. But in reality, it's like it's just the Slayer set. Like, and it sucks. It does suck.
Yeah.
Like, we don't like it. And why can't we actually farm it? I was saying the other day we should be able to like scrap, dismantle components and then be able to re-roll them. Like, you get material for them just like anything else, but like every time you break down a Slayer set, a component, you can craft another Slayer piece, and it'll give you stats. But like, hey, now I didn't waste all that time farming those drops that I didn't want and put them into a pool of more materials that I don't fucking need, and I can actually craft the Slayer pieces again. It's like compounding the amount of pieces that I can actually get and see. Like,
Well, I think
give
they
us
said
some
something about
way
that.
to.
They said that if I heard it right, they said that they were thinking about letting components drop with 4 stats on them, which is more power.
But I mean, even then, what does it matter if you get one piece per fucking week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like to go with the reactor question, the reason that people are so negative about reactor farming is because everybody's focused on that. Like if you look at other games, like I always reference, Diablo, WoW, any game that has a gear system like this or a looting game, right? Our components are like our gloves, our shoulders, our chest. Like
No.
I know we have mods, right? So like that does modify how you play your Senate and stuff, but like this is a big portion of the game. And the reason everybody's focusing on reactors is because that's the only thing that really is easy to farm and obviously I say easy lightly, but you can get one for certain, pretty in a good amount of time. Whereas with components, it's not the same, and you only go for Slayer, right? Like that's like going on Diablo and like playing Barbarian, and then just like oh, and then you go to the next class, you go over to Rogue, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to play Rogue. Let me go try Rogue out. Then you use the same set of armor with the same legendary traits. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like that's the problem is reactors are focused on because there's not anything else in the game right now that we can like efficiently farm. And I think I hope that they have a priority or like on really focusing on these components because I feel like that's a real problem with the game. And I know you guys keep saying like, oh yeah, it's power though. What are we gonna do with it? And yes, you're right. At the end of the day, in the conclusion, like the grand conclusion, yes, like that doesn't matter. Like right now, if we just go get a bunch of components, but that's like the idea of like, hey, my reactor gives me a 5% boost. This component gives me a 5%. Everything gives me. It's like min maxing. So you're like happy with your build. You're done with your build.
Yeah.
They need to break apart components and simplify like the stats in terms of like your defense, all of your elemental resistance. Like I know that it's like Diablo, but you could literally simply make a core system for components that are like your elements, and then just have those have the primary stats on them. Like simple, like give it a reason to just like farm for the one stat that we know is going to be on it, and then like add your resistance. That's cool, but like don't make it a gamble for every single stat on there, and like such a small amount. Like completing the set should be the like reward, not grinding for 100 sensors that have 2 more MP. That shouldn't be the goal. Like
yeah.
I think everybody can agree with this.
Here's a good one. Just off topic because I thought it was cool. Again, I should ignore this stuff. Are you guys talking in circles? Give me a break already. Y'all overpowered. Your ass. You do you. Literally stream every day. I just lost brain cells reading that.
Where was it at? Where was that at?
YouTube chat. This is what I'm saying, man. I'm gonna answer with. Sorry, I chose a better job. Have a good day. Anyways,
Give him the wave. Give him the wave.
Yeah. Nice little. No, I don't know. I just need to make some laugh.
No, you're always gonna have that.
No.
We
gotta
YouTube comments or something.
Thank you for the engagement.
No. TikTok's worse. Ooh, buddy. You piss them off, it's over. Pitchforks.
Why is it the guy in the comments that's always the most mad could never type a correct fucking sentence to you?
Because they're so fucking amped up. They've been waiting to type it out, and they just it's.
Dude, his fucking palms are sweaty, dude.
Palms are sweaty. But
knees weak. I gotta type my hate message.
All right, we got about 15
YouTube
minutes
already.
left. Your guys' turn. You guys can start answering questions all you want. We'll just fire them off, speed run.
We can get some chat. I can't see YouTube chat, but I can see.
You can get some chat questions or
Switch
whatever
chat.
you want to chat. We'll just start firing off. If we go over the 15-minute mark, it's okay. But like now we want to like get everybody involved. Anyone got some actual questions?
go, chat.
Not if I
go,
see
chat.
if I see jiggle physics, that's 5 gifted to each chat. By the way.
It's Blair.
It's Blair.
The
yeah.
next ult is Blair.
Yeah, next alt would be Blair. It would make sense.
I think that everybody here should probably agree to that.
Dating sim? Can I date you or what?
Some people think Enzo. What do you guys think? Everybody here think Blair?
I think Blair.
It's Blair. It's Blair. It's Blair, and then Serena.
Lamb
And she's
Dev.
singular fire. So farm those
Lamb
pre
Dev.
now. You got a whole month. Get
Wait,
to
did they
it.
say what she was? She's singular fire.
No, but she is. Trust me.
Oh, yes.
I
This,
trust
we
him,
talked about
trust
this.
him,
We talked about
trust
this. Lamb Dev.
Have I let you guys down before? Come on.
I'm not gonna answer that.
I'm looking at the other ones.
With the power stuff from earlier, so did the game get easier or are people getting stronger or better? People are getting stronger and better. People
Both.
are understanding the game better, which,
Yeah.
this happens as
Pub-
the game gets deeper and deeper. People have more knowledge about
Oh,
what
pub
to do,
groups
how
are
to
crazy
play,
now.
and- oh, yeah.
And
Bro, I
some of
was
them.
pubbing today. It was so much fun. I
Yeah.
was literally. I'm on like a Luna like boot camp right now. I've been like teaching everyone Luna, and like I think I've converted like 25, 30 Luna players that just like they said, oh, I'd never play that character, and they love Luna. Like it's so sweet. Like Luna is so much fun, and like she's crazy good for pubs. Like truly, she's
what
so
about
goddamn
what about
strong.
adding a new rarity?
That
Like a
transcendent stuff.
reactor? Like a
it'll
transcendent
come.
reactor, transcendent component?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. it'll
like
come.
something above ultimate.
Yeah, transcendent weapons. They'll come.
Yeah, you think so?
They said that they don't want to do the transcendent weapons because I think that the I thought that's what they
No,
said.
they will. I promise they will. It's gonna be like
diversity of dogs. I mean, the dog's already the best thing in the game.
Yeah, like buff. They're gonna have drones that buff you. They said they're gonna have combat buffing. They're gonna have.
If I
all
could tell
sorts
the
of
dog
stuff.
to go bite that Colossus in the ass and buff him,
Hell
debuff,
yeah.
that'd be great. But yeah,
I
No-
mean, think about like Diablo and
trading's
what
a
are
bad
they-
idea.
what are the unique ancestral uniques, or what are they called?
The Uber uniques.
Uber uniques. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about like a transcendent weapon, like a Uber unique.
Yeah, can't,
Promising again.
can't
yeah.
wait to go kill Defiler
Yeah,
for
quote
1,000.
me, and clip it, and I will gaslight you when you show me the clip.
I hope that transcendent weapon literally just one shots Defiler, just one bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, trading's a bad idea. There's not enough stuff in the game. The devs said
Yeah,
that
not
in
yet.
the meeting with me.
Trading
They said
is
it's
so dumb.
they said
Cool.
it's probably going to take
are we
multiple
trading?
years.
What
Plus,
are we
trading just
again?
opens up real money trading.
Yeah.
So like, let's just say I don't know
RNG
Lam.
destroys games.
Yeah, let me just say let's just say Lambo and Denny's not streamers, right? And they're both in a Discord. They can just poach me and send chat, look for people that need stuff, and message them and go, "Hey, you want Ultimate Bunny? I'll sell you the whole parts right now, $10, $15." Really, they got.
RNG
I'm
is
doing
always a
that,
problem
by the
for
way.
sure.
I'm absolutely doing that already. So
Yeah, me and Lamb actually had plans to do that too.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
try to keep it.
Yep.
yeah. It's all a conspiracy.
There we go.
Living in your
Transcendent
walls.
Katana. What do you guys think about everybody wanting melee weapons?
I'm down. I want them.
I
let's
think
do
the movement in the game, it makes me sad that there isn't like
Yeah, there's
already
with the,
melee
with
weapons.
the movement. There should be melee weapons.
I know, man.
But do you
we'll
think,
get there.
Do you think people are ready to have a melee weapon?
No,
You know,
no, they're gonna get
We,
shit
Hell
on.
we,
no.
we have people who can't even kill the Colossus from 100 feet away with enduring
Call 'em out by
legacy.
name.
Imagine,
name. What's their name?
Imagine little Billy.
Little
right,
Billy,
with his,
poor
with his
Billy.
with his katana at fucking Defiler's feet, and then he just gets fucking bopped on top of the head. You know what I mean? It's cool, but
Yeah, it was twashy.
I just don't
honestly.
think we're ready for that shit.
No, you know what? Like it's fine if there's a reason for it outside of Colossus. Obviously, that's not what I mean.
I
It
think
would be fun as hell, like blasting through like erosion with a fucking katana.
I
Come
think
on.
I think mobbing's more
Let's not
for.
lie.
I think it's gonna be more for mobbing. Like
Yeah, of course.
you give, you know, uh, I hate to use Bunny as a reference, so I'm not going to. But I was gonna say, I just think it'd be cool to run with Bunny and have some fucking Wolverine claws on and just fucking slicing through enemies. Like that'd be cool with that speed boost.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, and it's like we kind of have that. We have like a glimpse of what it is with the modules, but it's not even close to what
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
could add. Like,
But they're you got to give them credit though. Like, look how
Yeah.
cool they made shotguns now.
oh my god.
I mean,
yeah.
they're doing a really good job on bringing diversity. It's just that again, like certain weapons are just they're like mandatory to run now, or you're gonna do shit damage. So I really hope.
Smithereens.
I think that's the end of the
Yep.
day. Like, just wait. Time will tell, and
Yeah.
play it if you're having fun. It's a seasonal game, so we're probably all going to come
Save
back
all
to it.
your resources. Don't spend any. Don't build anything. Hold on to it.
Yeah,
It's precious.
I'm holding on to everything now.
Second Descendant. It's 2 years away, so hold on to your stuff.
Wait, second descent.
I'm not saying wait like that. I'm just saying like the game is going to get better over time, and play it if you're having fun.
I really
Definitely.
hope so. I really hope that we're having this conversation a year from now and like, oh my god, the game's so good and it's surviving. But I really just don't want to see it get a band-aid put on it every few updates.
Right. You
I've
never want to see that with any game.
No, I've
Right,
seen that
so,
happen
like-
to many games, and I just don't want that for this game. I think the community's
It's
strong.
fun. We like it. Everybody likes it. It's a passionate community. I think it'd be sad, but at the end of the day, man, gaming is gaming. We'll find another one, and we'll see.
Yeah,
I set
They
the
got a
bar
lot
low,
of-
but
they-
this has
they
been
got
good.
a lot of competition this year.
yeah. There's a lot.
Yep.
There is. But I mean,
We already do
Something
now, too.
something I hope they're aware of, and they don't release content on top of something like Elden Ring or
I want
Borderlands
to make
4.
fun of. I want to make fun of Elvin because of his. He showed me all of his resources that he's been holding on to till the Second Descendant comes out.
but there's some people out there with like 3 billion gold.
It's
Like,
so
going
weird.
out
What?
now.
That's just insane to me, man. Like,
Yeah,
Hey,
that's.
listen, I
that's
won't
Cindy.
shoot you. I feel like
He has the most gold in the game.
if you like the game, man, I'm not gonna trash talk. If you like the game and you're playing it, good for you. Just make sure you do what you enjoy. I think that's what the ultimate decision is for me.
yeah, no, I mean 100%. I mean, if you
No,
enjoy-
I genuinely love how all the players can find a way to play the game and enjoy it for themselves. Like as much as it's easy to like, just like I mean I treat everyone like, we're just friends playing a game together. Like I want to make fun of you because it's fun and it's funny and it's the internet, but we're just gaming. Like but the fact that you find a way to enjoy the game for yourself is like the part that we all found in the game first. Like
yeah,
if we're able to enjoy it the way we're enjoying it, whatever it is, whatever we're doing, like that's where we all come together. Like whether it's like, giving yourself a challenge or like finding things in the game or
yeah,
just literally seeing the number of your gold go up. Like I get it. It's fun. That's the fun thing that you're enjoying. And like that's what's bringing us all together. We just want to see it continue to live. Like we want it to keep going from here. Like we all love the game. It's really obvious. So
that's what's like my whole reasoning behind everything I say about this game and passionate. It's because little by little I see them taking away the enjoyment I had when I first played it. And I don't know if that's rude to say or selfish, but the grind that I did when I first started playing this game is what made me enjoy it. They keep taking that grind away and making it easier and easier and easier, and people just don't get to experience that feeling of grinding for something because that's what you want. You're playing a looter shooter. You're grinding for stuff. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be challenging, a little bit of time consuming, like a little bit of the quality of updates they have, but like, man, just
agree.
sitting there staring at that goddamn wall of that outpost, just like it's going to drop. It's going to drop. I'm going to get the material. And then I get it. And then I go run and hand it in. And I'm like, shit, this piece ain't never going to drop.
Maybe they're afraid of getting to the point where something like Destiny is at, where if you're a new player and you're logging to Destiny, you literally have a fucking aneurysm.
That's bad. All right. That new player experience is
mean?
really bad. Yeah, I know that.
I think maybe they're scared of that. Like they don't want the new player to log in and fucking shit their pants. They want the new player to log in and go buy Ultimate Bunny because she's got nice fucking booba.
Okay, but
You know what I
listen,
mean?
Bro, yeah.
the game hasn't been out that long, but like when we first logged into the game, we shit our pants too.
Yep. We did.
There was enough stuff for us to look at the game and go, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff here. Did we stop playing though?
Well, it's different.
Like,
it's different
No,
because we're
I
streamers.
understand because the game is new. No. I'm saying just in general, when you approach a new game, that's the reason you start playing it is because you don't feel like you're behind yet. You feel like there's that like
If I was
can
on
grind
chat's,
and everyone's around me.
if I was in
grinding for
chat's
the same
position,
thing.
I wouldn't be playing this game. I wouldn't grind it. I wouldn't and it waste my time. As soon as I see the problems, I'd be like, I'll see it in the next update. Just like how Destiny is, just like how every other game is. I mean, just that's how I am in PoE 2 right now. I'm literally just waiting for the new league to start because I don't want to grind for nothing, lose all my currency. The market's crazy, you know, one decent piece is 10 divine, you know, it's just, if I was on chat's seat, I would be like, I'm going to play this game until a certain point of when enough's enough and then I'm done.
Yeah, and they need to figure out a way to get those people back.
Yeah,
because there's been tons of those people that have come, built, strong,
and they circle
left.
back. They circle back and they leave again. Right?
leave
like they're not
again.
being hooked in again. They circle back.
What
and
did they ask?
Nothing changed. Okay.
They wrote they wrote back to that number one quote. Is it worth playing? Is that it?
Is it worth playing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Should I sign on?
Yep.
You got to give people a reason to. It's just like
Yeah.
Destiny. They're like, Clyde, I haven't played Destiny in 2 years, 3 years, and you're still running around with that same ass callous mini tool. Why?
Did you ask about clans/guilds?
I did.
Yeah, he did.
I did, and they said
That's not their priority.
They said it was on the low priority list. But yeah, I tell
Which is a
people, I'm
bummer
like, oh,
because-
Callus Mini Tool 3.0, you guys can craft it now. Yeah, Clyde, but who gives a shit? You're using a 3-year-old weapon. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Like it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I can't fake it till I make it no more on the Destiny side. I got to do something. So I was like, TFT, save the day. But it was good. But I just want everyone to understand this is just everyone's just giving passionate answers. We're not shit talking. We're just saying that something needs to be done because we see what the viewers say and we care.
And you can't give all positive feedback. You have to
can't.
give.
No.
And the
some
devs
type
did
of
say
negative
the
feedback.
devs did say that they enjoy the negative feedback. They like seeing people talk shit. Want to know how I know this? I literally dropped a video 2 days before my dev meeting. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm fucking cooked. They're gonna hate me." And
It's
they were
kind of like,
and they were
it's
like,
kind of like if I approached Clyde for advice on streaming, I wouldn't ask him, "Hey Clyde, what do you think I'm doing good?" I'd say, "Hey Clyde, what do you think that I'm doing wrong?"
"You always ask
And
the
how can
wrong."
I?
You always
and how
ask.
can
doing
I? How
everything
can I?
wrong.
What can I improve?
Yeah.
You know what I
Not
mean? It's
enough
the same
feed on
thing.
your stream, brother. You need
Yeah.
to let them hogs free.
But he's right. That's what you do. You don't ask about what is good. What's the bad? Because that's what people care.
Yeah, and that's what's always the loudest too. It's like
You know.
you got to respond to it, otherwise, you know, they walk away first, and it's the mob mentality. Quick, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh well, if they walked away, then that must mean it actually is bad. Let's all collectively walk away and go play Warframe, right? Right,
I
guys?
just think, and I said this before, I think they would do well to talk to their content creators.
Yes.
They're
Yeah,
doing
yes
more
and
work.
no. I mean,
They're
should.
doing more, a little bit. I'm not saying everything, but
They could
they're
send a
doing-
survey out.
yes, a survey.
I signed up for that.
Oh, you
That
guys
focus group.
OSRS, that poll, in-game poll, bro.
No, I signed up for the focus group that they had.
He's
posted.
talking about the one that was in California and the one that was in New York City.
The one that's in San Francisco. I will literally go to that if I get fucking picked.
Yep. If people
I'll
don't know what we're
absolutely
talking
go.
about, it's the focus group has to be in person.
I know it's in person.
It's in San Francisco and it's in New York City. If you lived in those areas, you could go play test. And what's crazy is they pay you 6 hours to play. You get paid $50 an hour, $300 total. I saw that and it
absolutely
showed
do.
class. I'm like, they actually give a shit, you know. But again, who knows what people will see that actually get to go. I guess
put on there that I have a fully built tamer and I'm ready to play.
Oh,
Like,
fuck yeah, dude.
Let me give you my opinion.
Yeah, it was a weird thing for them to do. But again, if you live in those areas, obviously you could do it, but I appreciate it. I had fun with you guys. We should definitely do this again.
Yes, absolutely, we should.
You know, definitely could talk more if the community likes this. We could definitely do this more and chit chat. You know, obviously we'll have more stuff to talk about next time with you know, future content.
I don't think we bullied everyone enough, honestly. But
no,
we'll
we
work
didn't.
on
We
that.
didn't. But
yeah, we'll work on it.
I gotta like you to do that. But yeah, it's it was cool. Like I said, I kind of
Buff Jaber.
I've done this with creators in the past on like Destiny stuff and other shit, and I'm like, you know what, TFT doesn't have this, so like let's link up and let's do this shit. And I reached out to multiple people. I reached out to I reached out to 3 other creators, and they told me they were busy. So I'm like, all right, you know, I was trying to get more people on, but I feel like the box of 4 is good enough. We're not talking over each other. Everybody's chilling. So this hit pretty good. So I appreciate everybody watching on everyone's chats, and thank you guys for coming. And anything you guys want to close on, rip it.
Thanks for the opportunity, bro. This has been awesome. I think this is something we should do for sure if people like it. And again, yeah, just kind of an honor to. Like I said, I've been a fan for a long time, so kind of an honor to chat with you about this stuff, and appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for having us on for sure.
Yeah, I'm a huge Sin fan, honestly, and like just to be in the same square as him is kind of.
You guys all work hard for sure. I see it. I call it bullshit. I call it laziness. I'm always watching. If y'all motherfuckers start slacking, I will DM you. That's just how I am.
No, we're grinding. You know, that's where
you gotta grind. You gotta grind. You gotta put it in. You know, and like that's it. But you know, always reach out if you guys need anything and need any advice. I'm a fucking old ass boomerang, so
I appreciate you.
I got some. You know, I got some good stuff. You know, I already taught Denny some of the work ways of what's behind him. You know, oh, you got a new pair of shoes back there. That's a tax write off.
That I'm gonna be doing that shortly too. It's tax
getting them breads.
So I gotta look into it.
Waiting on the 85 breads, huh? I'll see them.
Oh baby.
No, we'll do more of this. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go eat some food and enjoy my day off tomorrow. So thank you guys for coming.
Enjoy the day, guys. Peace out.
Yep.
Bye.
Later, boys. Later, chat. Peace.